Welcome to this explainer on Unit 08, Lesson 03. Today, we're focusing entirely on the rights of citizenship. Now, if you're a 7th grader stepping into this assessment rehearsal, listen up, because you are no longer just sitting back and absorbing historical facts. You are now officially a historical detective, and it's time to build a rock-solid case. Today, we're going to walk step by step through a document-based question rehearsal. We'll be applying the claim, evidence, and reasoning framework directly to the incredibly complex founding of American identity. Let's get to it.
All right, here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Key vocabulary. 2. Framework overview. 3. DBQ deep dive. 4. Common misconceptions. And finally, 5. Rehearsal prompt.
Section 1. Key vocabulary.
Okay, so to build a truly strong historical argument, you absolutely have to understand the sequence of these foundational events. It didn't just happen all at once. The ideals of liberty were first proclaimed back in 1776 with the Declaration of Independence. But then you had the intense, really gritty debates about how to actually govern at the Constitutional Convention in 1787. And finally, explicit protections and rights, those were formally added when the Bill of Rights was ratified in 1791. Getting a grip on this progression is super essential. It gives you the context for how rights evolved over time.
Now, moving from the historical timeline to your actual assessment strategy, let's trace how you're going to build your response. It's like building a house. First, you always start by carefully analyzing the prompt. Figure out exactly what it's asking. From there, you construct a definitive claim. That's your foundation. Once your claim is set, you gather textual evidence to back it up. Then, to make your argument truly advanced, like next-level stuff, you address a counterpoint. Finally, you wrap the whole shebang together with clear, logical reasoning.
Section 2. Framework overview. So what really makes a strong historical argument about citizenship? That's the million-dollar question for this assessment. You have to figure out how to take these old, complex historical documents and transform them into a compelling, living argument. A great response doesn't just summarize what happened. Anybody can do that. Instead, it takes a firm, distinct position on how citizenship was defined back then, and it supports that position using actual primary sources from the Revolutionary era.
Think of your argument like this. Your claim is the backbone, and your evidence is the muscle. Your claim has to be an arguable statement. It's a distinct position that answers the prompt head-on, not just a recap of facts. But, a claim can't just stand there all by itself. It has to be paired with specific historical facts and direct text from your sources, like the Foundations of American Liberty text, to definitively prove your point.
Now, if you really want to elevate your writing to the highest level, you have to incorporate perspective and counterpoint. This is absolutely crucial. This means you explicitly acknowledge alternative historical viewpoints. Actually, scratch that. It's more than just acknowledging them. By recognizing a valid counter-argument, maybe highlighting a totally different interpretation of a founding document, and then explaining why your primary claim is still stronger, you're showing a massively deep, nuanced understanding of the curriculum.
Section 3. DBQ's deep dive.
Let's apply all of this to a worked example. Take a close look at this specific prompt. Notice that magic little phrase right at the beginning. To what extent? That phrase is asking you to measure things on a spectrum. It wants you to look at both the successes and the limitations of the New Republic when it came to granting equitable rights. That means you need a nuanced, balanced claim, not just a simple yes they did or no they didn't.
A highly effective way to tackle this is by contrasting inclusion and exclusion based on your unit guide. You could formulate a claim that totally acknowledges how the new government successfully expanded democratic liberties and self-governance for property-owning men, but at the exact same time, you'd point out the severe limitations and formal exclusion of marginalized groups from full citizenship rights during that very same era. It's about capturing that historical tension.
All right, so you've got your claim and you've got your evidence. The final piece of the puzzle is your reasoning. This is literally the logical superglue of your essay. It's where you explain in your own words exactly how the specific evidence you selected proves your initial claim about American identity. Without strong, explicit reasoning, your essay is honestly just a list of disconnected facts, and we definitely want to avoid that.
Section 4. Common misconceptions.
As you're prepping your response, watch out for these massive traps. A lot of students mistakenly assume that foundational documents granted universal rights immediately and equally to everyone. No way. That just wasn't the case. Others completely ignore the strict property and wealth requirements that dictated who could actually participate in early governance. Avoid these pitfalls by recognizing that the formation of an American identity has never been simple. It has always been a complex,
ongoing struggle for inclusion.
Time for a quick student check. Stop and ask yourself right now, as you mentally rehearse your argument, are you genuinely using specific, concrete details from the provided texts, like the foundations of American liberty? Broad, sweeping generalizations just aren't going to cut it and won't earn you full credit on this assessment. You need hard historical proof woven carefully throughout your response.
Section 5. Rehearsal Prompt.
Okay, it is time to put this all together. Your overarching task for this DBQ rehearsal is to evaluate how early definitions of citizenship shaped American identity during the Revolutionary Era. To knock this out of the park, you must do 4 things. State a clear, arguable claim, back it up with at least 2 pieces of highly specific evidence, address 1 valid counterpoint, and explain your reasoning thoroughly from start to finish. You can do this!
I want to leave you with this final thought as you head into your assessment. You now have the framework, you have the vocabulary, and you have a deep understanding of early American identity. The only thing left to do is actually apply it. So, are you ready to dive into those sources, challenge the common myths, and build a truly compelling historical argument? Good luck on your rehearsal, detectives.